all you're going to do is come into that comfortable position, seated on your mat or your towel, in your space, whatever is good for you. And just want you to close your eyes now. Feeling free to move around as much as you'd like to get comfortable. You don't have to sit in Sukhasana or crisscross. You can extend your legs out, whatever feels good for you. And I just want you to close your eyes here to shift your focus inward and start to tune into your breathing. Maybe this is the first time in a while that you've been able to slow down your breathing. And that's what I want you to do now, is start to take nice deep inhales from your belly, moving the breath up into your chest, and then exhale from the chest down into the belly. So we call this our diaphragmatic or our three-part breath. You can place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, in fact, to feel the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose if it feels good. Or if you're feeling any type of sinuses today, you can exhale or breathe through your mouth. Sometimes it feels good just to sigh it out. So from here, I want you to think about slowing down your breathing, slowing down your movements, and slowing down your mind. Dedicating this practice and this time to yourself and your needs, whatever that might be. And just using this time to give yourself that extra little bit of love and care. Maybe starting with a full body scan from your feet all the way up into your head, checking in with how you're feeling today. Not only do we place one hand on our heart and one hand on our belly to focus on our breathing, but we place our hand on our heart for love and our hand on our belly for courage. I want you to take this time to channel those feelings into your body and into your life and whatever that might mean for you today. Remembering that when we come into this space, we let go of expectations, we let go of judgment and competition. The only thing that I'm going to ask you to focus on in our next 45 minutes together is to listen to your body and to focus on your breath. So in yoga, the breath guides our movement. The pranayama, it's one of the 8 limbs of yoga. The poses or the asanas are another limb. So there's 6 other limbs to yoga, and most of those are about the mindfulness aspect of yoga and how really that you can apply it to your everyday life. So maybe even taking this time to think about how you can let go of expectations and of judgment and competition, even as we move throughout our everyday life and we move off our mat. From here, let's take our hands down by our side. And we're just going to start with some neck rolls, taking that right ear over to that right shoulder, maybe pressing down with that left hand into the mat or the floor. Feeling a nice stretch through the side of the neck. The chin comes to the chest and that left ear goes over to the left shoulder. Right hand presses down into the mat. And let's do that again on each side. A lot of times we carry tension or anxiety in the neck specifically, as well as our hips. So we'll do some hip opening today as well. From here, feel free to move at your own pace, dropping your chin to your chest, maybe making those head circles a little bit better or a little bit bigger all the way around. And the other way. Still focusing on our big inhales and exhales. From here, we can bring the head back to center. Let's take our hands by our side. Inhale, reach up overhead. Exhale, we bring the hands to heart center. Anjali Mudra, the sign of physical reverence. So remembering to honor and revere our body throughout our practice today. As we inhale, the arms overhead. Exhale, let's drop that right hand down by our side. Reach up with the left, pressing the sit bones into the mat, feeling a nice side body stretch. As we inhale back to center, exhale, left hand comes down, reaching up with that right arm. Let's do that one more time because it feels good. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, left hand down. Continuing this breathing here, inhaling, arms overhead. Exhale, we take a little twist over that right shoulder. Inhale, coming back to center. A gentle twist to start our practice. Exhale over that left shoulder. One more time each side, inhaling center. Exhaling to the right. Inhaling to the center and exhaling to the left. Inhale, come back last time. Exhale, release hands down by our side. From here, we're going to take the palms of our hands underneath our shoulders. Fingers are forward. And I want you to lean yourself back just a little bit. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down, and press your heart center towards the sky, opening the chest, shoulders, releasing through the front of the body and letting your heart shine to the sky, keeping a slight tuck in the chin. And then slowly coming down. So first, a little bit of chest expansion in the body. Let's walk the hands forward as we flex our spine as much as it feels good here. So we're waking up and warming up our spine. Let's walk our hands back into our legs. All we're going to do is shift our body. So our hands come to the front of our mat. And our knees come right under our hips, feet to the back. So we're in all fours, hands and knees here. You want a little space between your knees, hands directly under the shoulders. We're going to move into more of our cat and cow. So you just did a little bit of seated cat and cow. Taking an inhale through the nose. And as we exhale, chin to chest, we round through our spine. Inhale, dropping the belly to the mat, hips to the sky for our cow. Exhaling, we round for cat. So from the side here, continuing this, inhaling, we lift the chest, fully arching through the spine. Exhaling, we round, tucking the sit bones in. Then let's move through this cat and cow with our breath here. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to round. Feeling free to take any natural or organic movements that may feel good for you, whether that's a little bit of flexion in the spine, moving side to side, maybe making figure 8 circles with your hips or wagging your tail. Feeling free to hold your cat and cow. This is your movement for today. So I want it to feel good. I want it to feel yummy, especially in your spine. It's our powerhouse. Especially if we've been seated a lot for today or throughout our week. Take this time to enjoy this movement. When you're ready, we'll come back to that flat back position on our mat. As we inhale, let's reach that right arm out in front of us, thumb to the sky. We stretch the fingers forward, pressing the left hand down into the mat. Exhaling, release. Inhale, left arm reaches, thumb to the sky, bicep by the ear. Exhale, release. This time, let's inhale, reach that right arm forward as we press the left foot back behind us. I want you to press the heel of your foot into maybe an imaginary wall behind you, stretching the body in opposite directions. And releasing down to the mat. Inhaling, left arm, right leg, stretching through the spine. Exhale, release. This time as we inhale, right arm and left leg stretch forward. As we exhale, little side body out to the side a little bit. Inhaling center and exhaling back down to the mat. Doing that on the other side. Inhale to the center. Exhale, taking that movement to the side. Inhaling center and exhaling, release. Let's do one more time on each side, moving with your breath. Keeping the core nice and strong here. That is what we are warming up. So the muscles that surround our spine, our deep core muscles, our hips included, everything from the shoulders to the hips. Releasing the hands down to the mat. From here, let's take that right hand. Hands are right under the shoulders, still in all fours, hands and knees. We inhale, sweep that right arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle under towards the other side. We can lower our forehead to the mat. We can lift our hips to the side, or we can sit those hips back. You decide. You can even walk that left hand out in front of you, getting a little bit of shoulder mobilization here. You control the pressure here on the shoulders. If you've walked that left hand out, let's bring it back under the shoulder. Inhale that right arm high. Exhale, release back down to the mat. Other side this time. Inhale that left arm up to the ceiling. Feel the rotation in the core and the spine. And then exhale, thread that arm under and through. Walking that right arm out in front of us. Lifting the hips or letting the hips sit back towards the heels. Walking that right hand back under our shoulder. Inhale, let's lift that arm one last time. Exhale, release. Excellent. We're going to take our knees to the long edges of the mat. We flip so the tops of the feet are on the mat. Hips sit back to child's pose. We can let our forehead rest on the mat. We can walk our arms out in front of us, palms on the mat. We can walk the hands behind us. If we're feeling any sinus pressure, we can take that block or roll of paper towel, nice and soft, and rest that forehead on. So we're keeping the head above the heart. If we're feeling any sinus pressure, we want to avoid any inversions. And child's pose is actually an inversion. You decide today. Child's pose is also our home base. So using this time, I just want you to let your belly hang loose here. So many times in fitness practices, right, we say, brace your core, brace your core. Well, I give you permission to let it all hang out and then to enjoy this release. We can come into this pose at any time throughout our practice. If we're feeling we need to gather our energy or just need a little break, child's pose, balasana, is a great pose to come into. We're going to move into our half series. So from child's pose, on an inhale, we lift the chest, shifting that chest forward, hands still directly under our shoulders, knees are in line with our hips. Exhale, we lower chaturanga down, elbows by the sides. Flipping the tops of the feet, inhale, lift the chest, hands off the mat, eye gaze down for cobra. Exhale, sit the hips back to heels, child's pose. Continuing to move through this flow here. We inhale forward to our plank. Exhale, lower the chest, elbows in, core braced. Inhale, drop the chest, lift the chest, belly on the mat, squeezing the glutes and the shoulder blades. Exhale, child's pose. Let's continue to flow through our half series, moving with our breath here with your pace, your time. As always, reminder, this is your practice. So you can move into any flow or version of a half series that you'd like today. If you're feeling ready and you want to experiment with downward facing dog, you can tuck your toes, lift your hips up to the side in an inverted V, and move through that half series. So inhaling, coming forward, exhaling, we hover. Inhale, we can lift up to full cobra, knees on the mat, or lift the knees into that upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog. So continuing your flow here, if you are in that downward facing dog, remembering it's that inverted V position. Doesn't matter if the heels touch the floor or not. Lift the hips to the sky. Inhaling, shifting forward. Exhaling, lower elbows by the side. Inhale, we can lift up to up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog. Continuing to flow through this half series here. Y'all are doing awesome. We're focusing on warming up the body still in our half series and building for that full sun salutation. Knees or toes on that plank. When you're ready, let's meet in that downward facing dog. You can walk your dog here. Bending knees right and left. Maybe taking note of how the hamstrings are feeling. And when you're ready, let's walk the feet to the hands, finding the top of the mat. Forward fold, Uttanasana. We can take the hands to that block if we'd like, the shins or the thighs. This is our first forward fold of the day, so I want you to make it a big knee bend. Chest, ribs fall to thighs, forehead falls towards the knees. Shake your head, yes, and side to side. Enjoying this nice little bit of inversion here. Again, keeping that head up if it feels like there's any sinus pressure. You can grab alternating elbows, sway side to side. On your next inhale, let's lift up to halfway lift or monkey. Nice flat back here. We press the hips up back, shoulders back, lengthen the spine and reach through the crown of the head. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. Let's do that again. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. This time we inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms lift to the sky for extended mountain, Uttanasana. Exhale, sitting back into chair pose, Utkatasana. It means fierce pose. Hands can come into heart center. We want the weight in our heels and our hips back. So from the side, knees are in line with toes. Inhale, lifting up to that extended mountain. Exhale, chair pose. Arms can also sweep out in front of you or lift up to the sky. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Let's move through our full sun salutation, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, full sun. Exhale, forward fold, swan diving down. Inhale, we lift up to that halfway lift or monkey. Exhale, walking the hands back to the mat. You can lunge back or walk your feet back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, shifting forward, hovering the chest. Inhaling, lifting up, up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog or child's pose. Lunging or walking forward, finding that forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, chair. Let's do that again. Inhale, full sun, extended mountain. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, fold. Stepping or lunging back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, fold or coming down chaturanga. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Walking, lunging forward. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, full sun. Exhale, chair. We're going to move through this one more or two more times. Moving with your breath, your pace. Feeling free to eliminate any poses that don't serve you today. Or if there's anything you want to add on, feeling free to do so. This is your time. This is your practice. Again, remembering to be Beginning of our class today, how I mentioned that we want this to feel good for our body. As soon as you're finished up with your second round of salutations, you can find that downward facing dog and just hold it there, or child's pose, gathering your breath. Meeting me in that downward facing dog when you're ready. Taking your time to get there, you're good, no rush. You can walk your dog, bend your knees right and left. From here, once we get into that downward facing dog, we're gonna take that right leg and lift it to the sky for three-legged dog. Eye gaze between the hands. As we exhale, we pull that knee forward and through to find a low lunge position. Now we're gonna drop that back left knee on the mat. Hands frame the foot. All we're gonna do is take that right hand or that left hand to the inside of our foot. We take the right hand to our thigh, finding a little twisting lunge. Enjoying this movement in our spine. We can lift the knee off the mat and reach that right arm high if we'd like. Taking whatever option feels good for us today. Releasing that right hand down to the mat. Lifting our left knee if it's not yet. Finding our balance, we're gonna inhale, reach up to find a high lunge, Anjaneyasana. We can take the feet wider for more support if it feels good. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Let's inhale, stretch the leg, reach the arms. Exhale, open cactus arms. Pull the shoulders back and down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale, we come down, holding here. All we're doing is we're gonna take that right arm forward, left arm back to find a little twist in our lunge. Finding our balance here, keeping the core nice and strong. We can take that hand on our thigh if we'd like, or place the back hand on our hip. All we're gonna do from here is drop this back heel, so our left heel down, open that hip as we shift into warrior two. This knee is in line with the toes, so our right leg from the side, right here. So that right knee is bent, our back leg is long, pressing into both feet. Back foot is on an angle. Eye gaze is over our right hand. From here, flipping that right palm to the sky, we reach back behind us, reverse warrior. Opening through our heart center here. Eye gaze can be up, down, or out to the side, whatever feels good. My Sunday best. Y'all know surfaces, right? From A&M, that's who's playing right now. From here, taking that right forearm to the front thigh, shifting forward to extended side angle pose. From here, we can find some arm circles if it feels good. We can also place this hand on our low back or reach it up to the sky. If we want to find a little core challenge, we can lift that right arm up. Keeping low in the legs, keeping the ribs off the thigh here. So nice long spine. And from here, all we're gonna do is straighten our right leg. So this leg, we straighten, coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana. We can find that block if we'd like, placing one hand on the block. And then I want you to think reaching up to the sky with that left hand. Pressing equally through both feet, squeezing the glutes to align the hips. Y'all are doing awesome. Imagining like you're in between two planes of glass, or maybe toast in a toaster, whatever visualization works for you. Keeping that shoulder on the left stacked over the one on the right. All right, we're gonna move into a little balance challenge here, y'all. From here, I'm gonna face you. So we're in triangle pose. I want you to bend that knee again on this front right leg. We're gonna press off that leg, lifting up to half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Pressing into that place on the floor if we'd like. We can always come back to our extended side angle pose. So dropping that left foot down, reaching up with that left arm, or shifting into that Ardha Chandrasana. So opening on the hips here. So we're lifting the left hip high above the right. The left toes point in that direction to the left. Arm can be reaching up to the sky, breathing here. Only balance challenge of the day, y'all got this. From here, we square the hips, drop both hands to the floor, standing split. So both hip bones shining down towards the floor. From the side, it looks like this. You can roll out that ankle. And from our standing splits, we're gonna take a long step back to find that low lunge. Step back with the right leg, inhale, lift the leg high. Exhale, releasing. From here, we can move through our half series. So we come forward through our vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Meeting in downward facing dog. Maybe walking your dog here. See how it feels on the right and left. And then we're going to inhale, lift that left leg high for three-legged dog. Eye gaze between the hands. Exhale, bring the knee forward and through to find our low lunge. We can drop that back knee. So right knee is on the mat. Left foot is on the mat. Hands frame the feet. Right hand comes to the inside of the left foot, and that left hand comes to the thigh, that left thigh. Opening the chest and rotating to the left. We can reach that left arm high. We can also lift our right knee off the mat. Finding that twisting lunge. Keeping the core strong here, still breathing. Releasing that left hand to the mat. We find that low lunge. Right knee is lifted. Inhale, reaching up to find your high lunge. Finding your balance here. Remembering, taking your feet wider is going to be a greater base of support. Inhale, let's straighten that left leg. Exhale, open cactus arms. Bending the left knee, sinking down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Exhale, come down. All we're going to do is reach that left arm forward and that right arm back, finding our twisting lunge. Remembering this hand can come to the thigh or this hand can come to the back. So the feet stay where they are, the chest just rotates, and then the arms extend. Breathing here. All we're going to do is drop our right heel to the floor, open to a warrior two. So bending our left knee with our left toes. From the side, it's that same one, just the other side. The back foot is on an angle, the whole foot's on the floor, and the front knee we're pressing out to the left. Relaxing the shoulders down. From here, we flip that left palm to the sky, reach back, reverse warrior. Opening this time to the left side of the body, feeling that rib cage and expand. Eye gaze can be up, down, or out to the side. We can also wrap that right arm behind us. Keeping the legs where they are, all we're going to do is shift forward. So this knee stays bent. That right arm comes up, left forearm to thigh, extended side angle. We can find those arm circles here if it feels good. Staying strong in the core here, so we're not collapsing the rib cage. We're keeping that neutral spine lengthen all the way out. Option here is to lift that left arm, finding that strength and balance, or bringing it back down. From here, all we're going to do is straighten that left knee, triangle pose. So I want you to reach up with that right hand, right shoulder over left, and we can find our block if we'd like. Remembering that whatever you have, you can flip in a different angle. Think about making the biggest version of this pose. So expanding the body by stretching the arms in opposite directions. Pressing equally into both feet, squeezing the glutes. Holding here for one more cycle of breath, getting ready to move into that Ardha Chandrasana, that half moon. Feeling free to stay in triangle or bend the knee, come down into that extended side angle. We bend the left knee, press off, finding our balance, lifting, feeling free to tap down if ever needed, being thankful for the times that we are strong and the times that we fall. Pressing into that floor or block, opening the right hip. So lifting that right hip, squeezing the right glutes, right toes to right side. We can reach up with that right hand. Holding here for one more round of breath. And then when we're ready, we take that right hand down to the floor, rotate the hips so the hips are square on the mat, both hip bones in the same direction. Maybe rolling out that right ankle. Standing split. When we're ready, take a long step back with the right foot, low lunge. Framing the foot with the hands, we inhale. Right or left leg high. Exhale, down dog. Holding your dog here or moving into that half series. Inhaling, coming forward. Exhaling, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back. Awesome job, y'all. We are going to do one more pose here before we get on our backs in a seated position. So let's inhale that right leg high. Exhale, I want you to pull the knee into the chest. Holding it, hovering. Inhale one more time. This time, take that right knee to right elbow. We lower it all the way down to the mat for our pigeon pose. So we can walk that. First thing I want you to do, walk your left foot back. Both hips should be shining forward in the same direction. We can drop this hip down, come into a straddle pose, or we can even take that block if it's soft. This is nicer even. Place it underneath that hip in our pigeon. We can lift out of the spine and then exhale, come down to deepen this stretch. Another variation of pigeon pose is a seated figure four. So feeling free, that right leg is what we're working. So having a seat and then taking that right leg across that left thigh for a seated figure four. You're going to get into the same muscles, so opening up through the glutes, specifically the piriformis. Whatever version of pigeon works for you today. I just ask you to find your breath. So anytime we get into a pose like pigeon or a deep hip opener, we activate the sympathetic nervous system. That fight or flight kicks in, which probably for many of us has been kicked in a lot these past few weeks. So I just ask you to breathe here. Send that breath to the hips, knowing that your body will always go to a place that feels good, a place of comfort. And we can build confidence in our hip openers by only releasing fear. When you're ready, we're going to lift that chest, come back up onto the hands. Take out that block if we have it in place. Let's lift up on that left knee. So left knee lifts, left hip. We send that right leg high. And then exhale, down dog. Resetting our hips, bending knees right and left. Let's move to the other side. So inhale, we lift that left leg. Exhale, knee to chest. Brace the core. Inhale. Exhale, knee to same hand. So left knee to left hand. We come down. And then first, remember, walk that leg back. So look behind you, make sure your leg's straight on the mat. Walk the right leg back. So that hip on the right side comes closer to the mat. Hip square on our mat. We can place that block back in if it felt good, knowing that each side is going to feel different. So you might have one that feels a little better than the other, and that's perfectly normal. Taking whatever variation feels best for you today. Maybe even think about relaxing through the jaw here, the mouth. Thinking about your expression on your face. When you're ready, we're going to lift that chest, walk back up onto our hands. Lift that right knee. As we inhale, sending that left leg high. Exhale, finding that down dog. We can bend knees right and left. And then we're just going to slowly lower down onto our knees, sitting back to our child's pose, touching our breath. When we're ready, slowly walking those hands up to our thighs. All we're going to do is shift over to find a seated position. Extending both those legs out on the mat in front of us. Sit bones down. Inhale, reach up to lengthen. Soften the knees. Exhale, letting the hands land where they lie. So not worrying about grabbing the toes. Again, remember that the body will go to the place that is most comfortable and that is best for you. So maybe thinking about not forcing anything. Softening the knees as much as it feels good to release in the low back. And then we're just going to slowly lift our chest. Pull that right knee into the chest as we use it as a break to lay ourselves down on our mat. So all we're going to do is slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll down onto the mat. Pull that right knee into the chest. And I want you to just roll out your ankle, lower your head down. You can open that hip to the right. Releasing through the hip. And then from here, we're going to take that right leg into the chest and then bring it across the body for a little spinal twist. Shoulders on the mat. Eye gaze can be in either direction. Bringing that leg slowly back to center, releasing the left leg down, or the right leg down as we pull the left leg into the chest. We can gently open it to the side, finding that external rotation in the hips. And then let's bring that leg back to center. Left arm out to the side as we take the left leg across the body for a little twist in the spine. Last little bit of movement today. Enjoying this release in the spine. Twisting is detoxifying, so it's really good for your internal organs, your immune system. As we slowly bring that left leg back to center, I want you to pull both knees into the chest, gently rock side to side to massage that low back. Moving into our final relaxation. So feeling welcome to put your feet down on the mat. Your knees can fall in. Or your feet can come together, your knees can fall out. Or you can extend both your legs on the mat for Shavasana. Wherever you want to end your practice today, bringing that focus to the breath, closing the eyes and shifting your focus inward, slowing down your mind and slowing down your body. This is probably the most beneficial pose where you'll get the most benefits of all that you did today. So redirecting all of that freshly oxygenated blood to the body. Feeling free to place that one hand on your belly and your one hand on your heart again. This time, as you place that hand on the belly and the hand on the heart, I want you to think about channeling that courage and that love that these hands in these positions symbolize. Maybe instead of sending that courage and love to ourselves, we imagine sending it out to the world today. When you're ready, you can start to wiggle your fingers and toes, just bringing some awareness back into your space and surroundings. And whenever you're ready, you can bring your knees into your chest or let them fall over to your favorite side, using your arm as a pillow. Opening your eyes to just the light, and then you can use your hands to press yourself up, finding the comfortable seated position. Let's finish with one last big inhale together. Exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. May you be filled with love and kindness. May you be happy. May you be at peace and at ease. May you be well. We end our practice together by saying something that simply means the light in me honors, sees, and observes the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me for yoga today. I hope you have an awesome weekend, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good one.